So Generation Z. Generation Z is leading a turnaround in the popularity of Christianity. And I don't know if you knew this, a rise in church attendance in England and Wales, according to research that was published this week on the 8th of April. A survey by the Bible Society and YouGov finds that those between 18 to 34, which includes so-called Generation Z, who are people born roughly between 1997 and 2012, and Millennials, born around the turn of the millennium, are being newly drawn to the Christian faith with renewed interest, not only in being part of a church, but in prayer, reading the Bible, and social activism based on faith. I think it's true that Bible sales in the UK have gone up since 2019, 87% since 2019. So after years of declining congregations, we're seeing a dramatic increase in church-going. And according to research, the most dramatic increase is among young men. So the image of churches filled by elderly women and a few others is no longer true, the Bible Society says. And I've seen this myself. I don't often have a Sunday away from the parish, but during paternity leave I had a Sunday off and I went to a church and at least half the people there were young men. All the people, doing the collection, one of the church wardens, they're all young men in their 30s. Now, Dr. Rhiannon McAleer, who's the report's co-author and the Bible Society's Director of Research, said, "We're seeing something we've never seen before. The results are pointing to community being the key. We're looking at young adults coming along with friends. They're not totally unchurched. Sometimes grandparents have had an impact on their faith. They've been able to transmit their faith to their grandchildren." So this survey is called The Quiet Revival, if you want to Google it. It shows that in 2024, 5.8 million people were attending church at least once a month, which is 12% of the population, compared with 3.7 million, or 8%, in 2018. And the most significant upturn was among the 18 to 24s, Generation Z, with 16% of them attending church at least once a month. 6 years earlier, only 4% did so. So this kind of challenges the narrative of decline, inevitable decline that fuels our pessimism. But the revival's most evident in Catholicism and Pentecostalism. And the survey reveals a noticeable decline in popularity for the Church of England. So first the good news and then bad news for us. A decline in popularity of the Church of England that's noticeable. Why might that be? Why is our popularity declining when other churches are getting more young people? Why might that be? Well, a long answer is like this, maybe. On the 8th of February, 3 months before, before this survey, an American singer-songwriter called Gracie Abrams gave a concert in Madrid. She's a young woman, apparently, with everything going for her. She's beautiful, she's rich, she's wildly successful. In Madrid, she wore a beautiful, elegant white silk dress. The dress could have been a wedding dress. It's like a wedding dress, a garment of joy. But it had long black shoulder ribbons, signs of grief, that when Gracie started singing seemed to fit with her message, seemed to express her message. Because the lyrics of her songs, they communicate and express a piercing sadness, a sadness that borders on despair. She was born, she's one of Generation Z, she was born in 1999. So for example, her song Camden begins with the line, "I never said it, but I know I can't picture anything past 25. A recurring theme in her lyrics is a need to hide grief, as she says, quote, "to bury baggage till it's out of sight," while outwardly conforming, calling it fine, hoping nonetheless that someone might, quote, "notice how I'm trying." And there's a refrain that runs through one of her songs, "All of me, a wound to close, but I leave the whole thing open." Now, the Church of England has become notorious among other Christians for handing over the naves of our cathedrals to mini-golf or silent discos. We engage on more or less desperate PR stunts designed to desperately show our relevance, our relevance to young people. Meanwhile, not far from the walls of our churches, outside the walls, in a stadium in the same town or city, or even on the cathedral green, young people are listening to music, maybe listening on their phones. Music that says, life is an open wound, and there is no balm in Gilead. Let's try something different. Let's try bearing witness to the world this Holy Week, and to young people in particular, that no desolation is final. Instead of desperately seeking to show our relevance, let us share our hope that he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed.